Shalom family, and welcome to our channel. Hear the words of the Most High in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 1 and 2. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All praises to the Most High Power. And with that being said, let's prepare for battle. When the Holy Spirit woke me up 7 years ago, these verses were very troubling to my soul. And though I accepted the words and the will of the Most High deep within my being, I felt guilty and my spirit was in conflict until recently. The Father revealed the truth to me about these verses in a dream. And now I know, without a shadow of a doubt, the words spoken by the prophet Isaiah are true. But before I share my dream with you, hear the words of the Most High in Job chapter 33, verses 14 and 15. For the Most High speaks once, yes, twice, yet man perceives it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men, in slumbering upon the bed, he opens the ears of men and seals their instructions. You see that? The Father can speak to us in dreams and visions. Now let me share my dream with you, and please feel free to seek the Holy Spirit about this matter for yourselves. But the dream involved me and my neighbor who lives across the street from me, 3 houses down to my left. She is an older German woman who always stops to speak to me on our morning walks, and I have never been in her home. In the dream, I was sitting at her island in the kitchen, waiting for her to put the food she had made for me in containers. And then I noticed she was moving in slow motion. Her appearance changed to a young woman, but it was still her. As she was moving slowly about, she was speaking to me, but I could not hear her words. As I looked out her kitchen window, day instantly changed to an extremely dark night. And then I heard her say in a normal voice, "Let me walk you halfway home. It's dark outside." And I said, "Thank you for everything. I would appreciate that." As soon as we stepped out her door, our movement was drastically slowed down as we walked across the street. And though the night was extremely pitch black and still, I noticed I could see exceptionally well. As I looked up towards the westerly sky, I saw a gigantic gargoyle flying full speed directly at us. But we couldn't do anything as we were still moving in slow motion. So I screamed, "Father, help us!" And instantly a spiral portal made a brilliant, bright light appeared, and the gargoyle immediately turned to dust. Still moving in slow motion, we began to drop to the ground on our knees, as we instinctively knew this portal of light was from the Father. As I was dropping to my knees, I noticed a beautiful, mighty Negro female warrior dressed in glorious battle array with 6 thick long braids braided from the front to the back of her head, running down her back, popping out of that portal. Her countenance was stern, powerful, and demanded attention. As we stayed kneeled, she walked over to my neighbor and stood her up on her feet, and then she stood me up on my feet. We sensed she was no joke as we kept our heads bowed. She stood in front of my neighbor and grabbed her right hand, placed it on my left shoulder, and said, "You cling to her." Then she stood in front of me, pointing her index finger in my face, and said, "You." And then she pointed her fingers towards the heavens, Cling to God. And in an instant, she went into that portal of light and disappeared. I woke up and started giving praises to the Most High as all the guilt I felt deep in my being disappeared. And I knew without a doubt all strangers must cling to the Israelites. This is the will of the Most High. Shalom, family, and thank you.